Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission here is pretty simple. We take your sources, all your research, your notes, and we basically distill them all down.
Down to the most critical, actionable nuggets of knowledge that you can use, well, right now.
Exactly. And today we're starting a deep dive that's really designed to be a total shortcut. I mean, a way to change the entire course of your life.
And we're going to start by challenging a really persistent myth.
Right. The idea that you just need more motivation, more willpower.
Or some big external spark to get you going. Every single source we looked at, they all agree that that's just a fundamentally flawed way of looking at it.
It is. The truth really is that your life is already running perfectly efficiently.
Yeah, but it's running on autopilot. It's being guided by what the sources are calling these invisible habits.
And these aren't the big things you plan out.
No, not at all. They're the automatic, reflexive things you do every day.
Like immediately checking your phone the second you wake up.
Or hitting the snooze button without even thinking. Or, the moment you feel bored or tired, you just default to consumption. Scrolling, binging something on TV.
And these invisible habits are so powerful. They're quietly draining your energy. They're stealing your time.
And they're holding back your potential without you even, realizing the toll they're taking.
And there was a warning in the research that was,
yeah,
well, it was pretty scary.
It was. And it's meant to sting a little. The warning is just crystal clear. If you keep saying, oh, someday I'll get my life together, but those daily invisible habits don't change.
You'll just wake up in 10 years with the exact same problem.
Exactly. Only now you're older. And those habits are 10 times harder to break because they're so entrenched.
Okay, let's unpack this then. And let's be efficient about it.
Right. We are not talking about a total life overhaul here.
No. This deep dive is about radical prioritization. We have to stop pretending that fixing your life means you need, 500 new habits?
Yeah, that's just a recipe for failure. The core idea here is that you might just need 1, 2, maybe 3 highly leveraged habits.
The ones that create a massive ripple effect across everything else.
This is the 80-20 rule, but applied ruthlessly.
Right. Most people focus on the 80% of actions that only give them 20% of their results.
We're flipping that completely. While the classic idea is 80-20, our sources actually argue that for these big foundational life changes, it's probably closer to 5%.
Wow, just 5%.
Yeah. We are searching for your 5%, the biggest, the needle-moving habits that apply specifically to where you are right now.
And since that 5% isn't going to be the same for everyone, the sources gave us 6 powerful categories to look at.
And let's be clear, this is not a checklist.
No, it's a menu. You have to be ruthless. Pick 1 or 2 categories where you feel the most friction in your life today.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, these 6 areas, they're really the pillars of a resilient, effective life.
So choosing where to start is probably the most important decision you'll make after this.
For sure. Let's start with the first one. It's maybe the most foundational.
Okay.
Category 1, healthy and in shape.
And the goal here is not what you might think.
No, it's modest, but it's vital. The goal is just having a body that can carry out your mission in life. You don't need a 6-pack. You don't need 5% body fat.
You just need a body that's full of energy, a body that can keep up with the life you want to build.
And the rationale for this is it's so foundational. When you feel better physically, everything else just gets easier.
Everything. It reduces the activation energy, for every other task.
Your mental clarity, your emotional stability, how you handle stress, it all gets a boost from your physical well-being.
You're building a body that supports your goals instead of, sabotaging them.
So to start building that strength, the sources say you just have to move more every single day.
A daily walk outside, non-negotiable.
Exactly. And then incorporate strength training, say 2 to 3 times a week. And there was a great insight here in the research. Yeah, if you're trying to change your body composition, just remember that the more muscle you build, the more your metabolism works for you. Like 204/7.
It's the highest return on investment you can make, physically speaking.
It really is.
And there was this one analogy that really stuck with me from the reading.
What was that?
Treat your body like a temple and stop treating it like a tent.
Oh, that's powerful. That is a powerful distinction.
Isn't it? A tent is temporary. You use it, abuse it, throw it away.
But a temple is built with intention. It's built to last for centuries, to be a place of strength and purpose.
Exactly. So your physical habits should be about creating a structure that's built to last, not one that's going to collapse in 5 years.
Love that. Okay, let's look at category 2, a creative outlet.
This one is, I think, really underrated.
So underrated. Because we see creativity as a luxury, not a necessity.
Right. If you're always just consuming Netflix, TikTok, even, listening to this deep dive, you're never actually creating.
And we are made to create. That drive, it didn't just disappear.
Yeah.
It's just buried. It's buried under the sheer weight of life, errands, to-do lists, but it's what keeps us mentally healthy.
So what about the person listening who feels like, I genuinely have no time for that. How do the sources handle that?
They handle it by completely shifting the goal. The goal is to have something that is just yours.
Oh.
It doesn't have to be good. It definitely shouldn't be something you try to make money from. It's just for expression.
So it could be anything. Playing guitar, singing.
Dancing, painting, gardening, photography, even just writing a few sentences in a journal that no one else sees.
It's not about perfection.
Not at all. It's about getting your complex internal world out into the external world, that act of just externalizing it. It's therapeutic. It's necessary for balance.
I like that. Okay, next up is category 3, building knowledge.
And the sources really sell this one as maybe the fastest way to change your life.
By upgrading your brain every single day.
You have to figure out what knowledge, what skill set you actually need to build the life you want, and then you commit to downloading it daily.
The habits here can be so easy.
Yeah.
Read 5 pages a day. Listen to 10 minutes of an audiobook.
Right. Maybe replace that time you'd normally spend scrolling or watching some random show on TV.
And the insight is so profound, really. Everything can be taken from you, right?
Yeah.
Money, your job, possessions.
But not the knowledge in your brain.
And we have to remember, smart people aren't just born that way.
No, they build themselves. They become obsessed with learning.
But this brings us to a really crucial distinction that the research made.
It does. Knowledge itself. It doesn't change your life. It's inert.
Right.
Applied knowledge. Now that's a weapon.
Can you give an example of that?
Sure. So reading a dense book on personal finance, that's just knowledge. Applied knowledge is closing that book, opening your retirement account app, and immediately implementing the first strategy you just read about.
It's the conversion. Learning into action. That's the high leverage move.
That's everything.
Okay, moving to category 4, evolving mindset.
This one gets at the deep reason people feel stuck for decades. And it's not laziness.
It's mental stagnation.
Exactly. The sources were very clear. You cannot build a strong, expansive life with a fragile, reactive mind.
So this is like mental strength training.
That's a perfect way to put it. The activities here build resilience, awareness, emotional intelligence.
So things like journaling to process your emotions and just get some awareness.
Right. Or practicing 60 seconds of gratitude, developing and repeating powerful affirmations, meditating, not to clear your mind, but to watch your thoughts without judging them.
Or even visualizing the person you're becoming.
All of it. The commitment here is to the inner work, because your outer world only changes when your inner world expands. A strong mind sees opportunity where a fragile mind only sees obstacles.
So true. Okay, category 5, relationship strengthening.
This is so important. Humans are wired for connection. The sources remind us that success without connection is just
Loneliness with more money.
That's the quote. And so many high achievers, they unintentionally neglect their most vital relationships, their partners, friends, kids.
And themselves, the relationship with yourself.
That one too, absolutely.
The sources really emphasize intention here.
They do. It could be something as simple as having one intentional phone-free conversation every day.
Or a daily phone-down family dinner.
Or sending one specific gratitude text every morning to someone.
Whoa.
Or a weekly date night, whether that's with your partner or...
A dedicated date night with yourself.
Yes. And the science on this is beautiful. Relationships literally shape your nervous system.
I find that fascinating.
It is. Strong, safe connections make you feel safer, stronger, more joyful, because they actually reduce the baseline stress your nervous system is carrying around. This isn't just fluffy stuff.
That's biology.
It's biological necessity.
And finally, that brings us to category 6, a wealth creation habit.
Right. And let's be blunt. Money won't buy happiness.
But the stress of not having money will absolutely rob you of it.
Yes. It'll rob you of your clarity, your peace of mind. Money problems are only solved by money, so it's a game you might as well learn to play well.
And the focus here isn't just about making more money, though that's part of it.
It's more about learning how to steward the money you already have.
Stewardship. I like that word.
It's about saving, learning how to invest so your money, makes money babies.
Right.
It's about building competence and self-trust in your financial life.
And the habits can start so small, checking your accounts once a week.
Or tracking every expense in an app just for a month to see where it's going, reading one finance article a week.
Or spending 10 minutes a day on a side hustle.
You have to learn the game. You'll never feel truly rich if you always feel out of control of your finances.
So that's the 6 essential categories.
And remember, the goal is to pick just one or two.
Right. But now we get to the most important question.
Okay.
How? How do you make these habits stick without relying on that, fleeting hype or willpower?
That inevitably leads you right back to your worst habits.
Here's where it gets really actionable. There's a simple 3-step method for implementation. One that bypasses the need for massive willpower.
Because a habit doesn't need to be hard. It just needs to be done daily.
And the whole point of this method is realizing that the action has to become part of who you are.
Your identity, not just something you force yourself to do sometimes.
Step 1 is anchor it. or as it's often called, habit stacking.
The idea is so simple. Don't rely on your memory or motivation. You attach the new habit you want to a current habit that you already do every single day.
Without fail.
Without fail. It eliminates decision fatigue. You're not waiting for inspiration to strike.
So for example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will read 5 pages of a book.
Or after I take my shower, I will do 2 minutes of breath work.
It's like you're taking a new train car and just attaching it to a track that's already running.
It gets that immediate guaranteed momentum.
I love that. Okay, step 2, make it laughably small.
This is so critical. The research shows the brain resists the change of tasks. That starting mechanism, not the habit itself.
The activation energy.
Exactly. So you have to start stupid simple to basically trick your brain.
People fail because they start too big.
Every time. So instead of trying for a 20-minute meditation that your brain immediately fights against,
Just sit quietly for 60 seconds.
that's it. Instead of trying to write a novel, write 1 sentence.
Don't commit to a 5-mile run.
Just put your running shoes on and walk for 2 minutes around the block. That is the entire goal.
Because the real goal here isn't the outcome. It's not about the 6-pack or the finished book, not yet.
No, it's about building the identity of the person who does that thing.
So every day, you sit quietly for 60 seconds, you are cementing the identity of the person who meditates.
And every day you walk for 2 minutes, you're building the identity of the person who loves going on runs.
Small steps make the larger steps feel natural down the road, not forced.
And that leads to the final piece, step 3. Celebrate yourself.
This is the neurological secret sauce.
It really is. We have to talk about dopamine. The brain loves rewards, and celebration releases dopamine, that pleasure chemical.
So when the brain gets that little hit of dopamine right after the new habit,
It logs that habit as valuable, as pleasurable. It wants more of the behavior that triggered that good feeling.
so you have to make the small wins feel important.
Immediately. You have
Yeah.
to celebrate those tiny wins. Give yourself a sincere internal smile, a quick fist bump.
Or put on your favorite song and just dance like a total idiot for 3 minutes.
Yes, you have to immediately connect finishing that tiny habit to a feeling of satisfaction and reward.
And this is the critical insight that changes everything, right?
It is. We do not change through shame. So many people try to shame themselves into exercising or saving money. But true, lasting change comes from building self-trust,
Tiny wins lead to massive spikes in self-trust.
which then leads to bigger wins,
Right.
which creates this unstoppable momentum. And that's what eventually results in a total identity shift, where that habit you wanted, it just becomes non-negotiable.
So as we wrap this up, let's just revisit that final recommendation from all the sources.
Please, it's crucial. Do not try to implement all 6 categories this week.
That is guaranteed failure.
Absolutely. You have to pick just 2, maybe 3 of those categories to focus on right now and use that 3-step method.
And the ultimate goal, through doing these anchored, laughably small habits every day, is to achieve that identity shift.
So you can remind yourself, this is who I am now.
You think of someone who is severely overweight, but they just committed to that consistent daily action.
And 5 years later, they go to the gym every day, not because they're forcing themselves with willpower.
But just because
Yeah.
it's who they are now. It's part of their identity.
So what does this all mean?
It means that disciplined, daily action is the only path. It's the path to a life where your problems don't just keep compounding.
The entire course of your life changes when you correctly identify and then execute on your 5%.
We learned that the smartest people aren't just born smart. They built themselves through an obsession with learning.
And that applied knowledge is the strongest leverage you have.
So if knowledge is power, then applying that knowledge is your weapon.
And we want to leave you with one last thought to mull over as you go about your day.
What is the single most critical, high-leverage piece of applied knowledge that you will commit to downloading and, more importantly, immediately implementing this week?
What will you do to upgrade your personal leverage and create the life you truly want? That is your next deep dive.